Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to a very different video. We're not going to be reviewing any wrestling figures. We're not going to be reviewing any wrestling pay-per-view shows. We're actually going to be reviewing a brand new Netflix show and it is called Glow. Now, where do I start? I hadn't heard of Glow. Glow is a real wrestling show that existed in America in the 1980s, and I think the pilot was made in 1985, and then they made 4 seasons running from 1986 all the way up to 1990, and it was actually quite a successful show. They were filming season 5 when the show got cancelled, and it did not get cancelled because of low ratings or anything along those lines. It was all to do with like network politics. So they were really unlucky that the plug was pulled. And so there was a documentary made in 2012, and that's been on Netflix for a while. And I saw that documentary, and that was the first time I'd even heard of Glow. I'm not going to lie to you, this isn't something that I grew up watching or grew up being aware of. I didn't know about it, and then I saw this documentary, and it just looked really fun. It was really 80s, it was really colourful. You know, the women had these larger-than-life characters. It's just craziness, full-on craziness. I should imagine that it was just half an hour of just really good fun. And, well, that seems to be the case, certainly from watching that documentary and reading a little bit more about it. Now, the makers of Orange is the New Black, a very, very successful TV show, were looking for a new project. They saw that same documentary, and they hadn't heard about Glow either, but same as me, that documentary got them interested in the whole story, the backstory to it, and so they decided to make their new project all about Glow. So it was released a few days ago, and already the critics are raving about it. I think on Rotten Tomatoes it's got like 96%, and it's brilliant. It's not for you youngsters out there. There are drug references and sex references, and you know, it's definitely more adult in its themes. So there's 10 episodes in total, and yeah, I've been binge watching them over the past couple of days, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, and I thought I just wanted to do a video because I know some of you might have watched it, some of you might not yet have had chance, or some of you might not even know that it exists. So I thought, let's do a video and let's talk about it. If you're into wrestling, you're gonna love it, right? If you're not into wrestling, then, well, first of all, why are you watching this? Why would you come onto a Wrestling Daze channel if you're not even into wrestling? Thank you though, please don't go away. So yes, if you're not into it, you're still gonna love it. Certainly, like, this might be sexist, right? But you women out there, right, who are into like the more comedy drama stuff, I know guys out there like it as well, but this is clearly aimed at women, right? That's the vibe that I get from this show. I'm not embarrassed to say that I've watched it or that I've enjoyed it, because it's a comedy drama, and I did enjoy it. I did watch it. I did enjoy it. But I think there's a lot of like empowering women in this, and I think also there's a lot in here where, you know, it doesn't overly focus on like in-ring action. There's actually not loads of in-ring action. There's probably the longest sequence is at the very, very end, which is what the whole thing builds towards. The rest of it is like very much character development. This really is like a drama that just so happens to be about women's wrestling. That's the kind of vibe that I get from it. It's a very entertaining show. I thought the pilot, the first episode in particular, was excellent. Really strong, really drew me in. Episodes 2 and 3, things start to kind of just, I don't know, there's a lot in there that they could cut, or certainly I felt they could have cut. Maybe if this thing had been 8 episodes, then it would be, you know, well, 100%. But instead it's just 96. So yeah, look, there's really not a great deal to criticise. Just know that it's not a slow starter, but it gets better and better and better. If you're enjoying it after like 3 episodes, you are gonna love it by the end. Trust me on that. Main character, Ruth, played by Alison Brie, an actress that I'm not familiar with. I know she's been in Mad Men, which I haven't seen, Community, I haven't seen it, and other things which I've not seen. Yeah, I'm sure you might have heard of her. I hadn't. But she's awesome. She is so good. She really captures that character. Actually, Den of Geek, right? I was reading his review, and he says that Alison Brie makes a morally ambiguous character likeable. And the reason for that is because Ruth, the main character, if you will, is a struggling actress. And she is literally going for any parts that are of substance. She's tired of going for this secretary role here and housewife there. She wants something that she can get her teeth into. She's a passionate actress that wants to, you know, really show off her skills. And Glow comes along. They are looking for actresses that can be trained up as female wrestlers to perform in this TV show. She's convinced to audition. She auditions, she sticks with it, she starts to grow into it, she starts to enjoy it. You know, you kind of follow her journey, which is really cool. But she also sleeps with her best friend's husband, which, you know, morally is quite questionable. So it's really interesting how the main character does something as awful as that, but yet you do still find yourself kind of on her side. And I think actually, you know, the show kind of explores that, the fact that not only, you know, did she do that, but also she is the show's main heel, the main bad person, if you will, the bad guy in the matches. She plays this Russian, and she comes down with the accent and everything, and like the crowd hate her, and it's really interesting to see how they've approached this. The makers of it, because you are rooting for this to be a success, really, because you want it to work for the girls and you want it to work for Ruth. But Ruth is the heel of the show. She's the villain. She's the bad person, both in and out of the ring. It's very 80s. It's very like full on, with neon. Even Glow at the start is in like neon. The soundtrack to this thing is brilliant. Really enjoyable. The costumes are absolutely awesome as well. Kind of really takes you back to that 80s vibe. The guy in this, the director Sam, played by Mark Maron, he's brilliant. I don't know what he's been in before, but he again, you know, very similar. He's sleeping around, he's, you know, got a few kind of dodgy ideas for films, and you find yourself just like kind of feeling sorry for him, and the girls feel sorry for him as well. And so he ends up sleeping around, and, you know, he tries to sleep with this one girl. Turns out, this is a spoiler, right? So you need to step away if you've not seen it. But she turns out to be his daughter. And it's like, it's crazy. It's craziness. It's a crazy show, but it's just, it's great. It's really great. I know that I'm not much of a TV show reviewer. I'm not trying to be. I'm a wrestling fan that's trying to give you kind of my opinion of this show from a wrestling fan's perspective. Personally, I really appreciated seeing footage of Gorgeous George, yeah, who legit is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. There's also footage in there of Hulk Hogan. In fact, Brooke Hogan is in this thing. Hulk Hogan's daughter I think she's like the nightclub manager. So she's in this. Wrestlers, actual wrestlers are in this as well. So Brodus Clay is in this. He's got a few funny lines as well. Carlito is in this, right? And there's a scene where Carlito is on a porch with an apple. Don't think I didn't notice that. We had, wow, we had Alex Riley in this thing. Joey Ryan was in this thing. We had John Morrison as well in this thing. One of the main characters, the Welfare Queen, is played by the awesome Kong. or Kharma, as she was known in WWE. Yeah, she's like one of the main characters. And also, right, a lot of you might not know this, but Rhonda is played by Kate Nash. Kate Nash was a pretty big singer-songwriter in the UK. Not sure what she did like internationally, but I remember she had a song called Foundations. Quite a good little song actually. And I think I've got her first album, and now she's on this show. It's really weird, but she does a great job. Like, she comes across like she's like studied in acting and done stuff before. She might have gone to like the Brit School of acting. Yeah, she's awesome. And in fact, all of the cast star, there's no real dodgy performances in this. Nothing that I was like, not a fan of that. They all kind of bring something. And also, what I really appreciated about the show was the passion that they had for wrestling. For me, there was two moments that really stood out. There was the one where the girls go to actually watch wrestling, and Debbie, who is like she calls herself Liberty Bell. She is like Miss America. She goes and she doesn't really get it. She's been in soap operas and like she's a bit on the fence as to whether she wants to do this or not. But she does it, and then she goes to watch wrestling and she gets it, and she's like that moment where she's like, oh my God, this is a soap opera. Like, she can see the storylines unfolding before her eyes. She can see the characters. She can see how those characters have developed and everything. It's just like, yeah, man. Yeah, that's what it is, you know. A lot of people you see that don't watch wrestling think that wrestling fans are like insane. Just think that we don't know what's going on or whatever. We know what's going on, right? It's a soap opera. It's a soap opera that's just, you know, largely enjoyable to watch unfold, and those characters develop and those storylines, and, you know, you kind of trying to predict where it's all going to go, and you've got your favourites, and I thought Glow did a fantastic job of kind of capturing that at times. Probably no better than the very end. I thought the way this show wrapped up was, I loved it. I really loved it. You know, it all builds up to them putting on this show, and no one's really interested. They have to pay people to come in, and then they put this show on, and it's great. Like, it's really, really good, like, the way that they've got that character development and they've got their characters fleshed out, and they put this show on. And it's kind of, I really think, you know, if you was quite snobby towards wrestling, but you gave Glow a chance, I think it might change your opinion. I think you could step away from this show kind of having a better appreciation of what wrestling's really all about. So I think this show does quite a bit, and, you know, for that I would give it like a real high 8 out of 10. As I said, they probably could have cut a bit out of it in the early stage of the series. I don't think there's anything they really need to change. I think what's exciting is that this first series, these 10 episodes, just focus on them trying to train and get like a show together. They've still got like 4 seasons that they can explore, and the 5th one that gets cancelled, and then they could do another one in what it's like after the show's gone. So if this thing is a success, it can run and run and run and run. Don't be surprised to see Glow Season 2. This thing, surely, after the critical response that it's got, is going to be commissioned for another series, and it deserves it as well. And you know that WWE are watching this, because did you know as well that Ivory out of WWE, she started off in Glow? She was in the original Glow, which is like crazy. I didn't know that. So yeah, but WWE are running a female tournament this summer, and that's not a coincidence. They knew that Glow was going to hit Netflix. They knew that people would be talking about women's wrestling, and so they've coincided this women's tournament to happen at the same time. I do not believe that is a coincidence. And I would also, I would also expect to see toys, maybe not of glow, although if there are glow toys, if they make like glow figures, I am totally buying them. Totally buying them. Totally into glow. So, oh God, you could have Naomi as well. Naomi's gimmick is Feel the Glow in WWE. Like, she could make an appearance in Series 2. I should totally do that. But anyway, right, I'm getting distracted here. So yeah, I expect there to be a Series 2. I think WWE are watching this. I wouldn't be surprised if you see more being catered for towards women. We're already getting that women's tournament. There could be more things, you know. We've had Total Divas, Total Bellas. You know, what else is going to come out for women? I think women's wrestling in particular, I don't want to say is going to explode, but it could. It really could. So watch this space. Awesome, guys. I hope you enjoyed this kind of quick overview, this quick look at the series. I really enjoyed it. I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. If you like the video, then please give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.